Okay, so now we're up to family 3, which is the bridge family of letters. Now before we start, I'll just show you again, if you haven't got a line guide like this, you can change it in a book. So you've got the broken lines, the solid lines and the broken lines. Again, this is more suitable for foundation stage children and some year 1 children, and then this would be better for Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2. It's quite easy to draw your own if you don't have a line guide. Now we are only going to look at the N, the M and the R, because obviously these 4 have got the tail on and we just need to talk about those letters separately. So when we look at the bridge family, we're still using the top broken line, top solid, bottom solid and the bottom broken line. Now with the bridge family, the N and the M, they have what we call narrow bridges. What children tend to do is they make the N and the M huge, which is not what we want to do. We want to keep them nice and neat and small like the other letters we've practiced. So with the N, you always start at the top of the solid line and you come down in a straight line. So it's useful just to practice doing these short straight lines like this. This is also a really good warm-up to do. You can see that I've got my pencil between my 2 fingers in the pinchy fingers grip. So let's have another look. So we're going to come down between the 2 solid lines like this, and you go straight back up the same line, and then when you get near the top you curve it round like we did on the coat hanger family the other day, and then we come down to the bottom solid line and we give it a little flick, a diagonal join to the right. So you can see I've got narrow bridges here. So watch again, come down with the short line and then you go back up the same line to the top solid, curl it round, come down and then you give it the little diagonal joining flick. We'll do one more. Straight down to the bottom solid, back up and round, curl it round and down with the flick again. And you can see they are definitely narrow bridges. Now with the M letter shape, again it's very similar to the N, and you start between the 2 solid lines again. So we come to the bottom solid, go back up to the top solid line and curl it round, and then we come straight back down to the bottom solid line. Now it's really important that you go back up the same line again, and then you get to the top and you curl it back round to the bottom solid, and here's our diagonal joining flick. You can see here that I've got my little triangle. That's really important because we don't want to see it just all joins together. So watch again, comes down to the bottom solid, go back up to the top, hit the top solid line and come around to the bottom solid, back up again and around and down with our flick, just like this. Again, you can see I've got my narrow bridges. It's not a gigantic M. So down again, back up to the bottom solid, back up the same line, curl it around and down to the bottom solid with our flick. So I've got my narrow bridges. If you can do the N and the M, you can definitely do the R really easily. So again, you can just practice by doing some straight short lines between the 2 solid lines, because that's what we're going to use. I've still got my pinchy fingers, and if I get it a bit wrong, I put my pencil down, I can always put it in my pinchy fingers and flip it round so it's in its bed again to get in a comfy position. So with the R, we're going to come down to the bottom solid from the top. Then we're going to go back up the same line until we get just to the top, and we're going to curl it round like that. And you can see it's got that curve shape there on it, a bit like the coat hanger family from the other day. Come down, back up and round, just like that. Straight down, back up and curve it round the top. Again, you can see my little triangles being formed at the top, and it's really important that we have that little triangle there, because what we don't want to see is that letter shape. That isn't a letter shape. Although it's easier for younger children to form in that way, it's really important we start at the top and we come down, go back up and around, so you've got that triangle there, because all these movements are what are going to help later on when we start to do the joins in the handwriting lessons. And it's the same with the N and the M. We don't want to see that. We want to see it comes down, back up to the top solid, down to the bottom solid, back up the same line, curve round, back down to the bottom solid and flick. And here is my triangle there and there, and that's how I know I've done it right.